Yeah, it's a good point from Ian here. How much of an effect will these defeats have on Munster and Leinster? There's still, a couple of bit of the seasons to play. They have the Pro 12 to look forward to.
Yeah.
Will it have a deflating effect? Will they be able to build themselves back up?
Oh, I think they will. I think there'll be a lot of disappointment in both camps. I think Leinster, obviously, with the first 15 minutes. I think Munster will feel like, I felt like, because I was supporting, obviously, the Irish teams on the weekend. I was disappointed that they didn't fire a shot, and I think they'll say to themselves, what do we need to do? Obviously, some of the defensive things that we showed there, they need to do a little bit better. But from an attack perspective, I think they need to back themselves and use those backs that they have. I mean, guys like Keith Earls, Saili, even Scannell and Zebo, like when they get the ball in their hands, they're a real handful for an opposition defence, and I just didn't think they got to show their wares. I could understand the game plan going to the air because they're very strong there, but I wish they just played a little bit more rugby, in my opinion. So I think they'll probably know a little bit more about themselves, and I think it leaves them, obviously they'll be deflated, they need to pick themselves back up quickly, which I think they're capable of doing, both teams. But I think where we'll really feel the benefits of this is probably next year for Champions Cup. I think
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
It was said when they changed to the Champions Cup format that Irish provinces probably wouldn't be able to compete the way they did in the glory days. Yeah. Is this kind of a one-season wonder, for lack of a better way of describing it, or are we going to maybe see Leinster and Munster in semi-finals competing regularly from now on?
I think we will. Like everything that both teams have done are very repeatable, and I still think there was loads of room for improvement. I think obviously Munster had a superb kind of pool campaign, but Leinster were a little bit more mixed. They did what they needed to do. The bonus point against Montpellier proved to be vital, which we kind of thought at the time. But the Castaway one was disappointing, and they kind of let one go there. So there's lots of room for improvement. I think this team will get better and better, definitely from a Leinster perspective, and I think they've added some really exciting talent. I think Fardy and Lowe look like really, really good players, and I think they'll be a big addition to the team. And obviously, Munster, I'm not too sure who's coming in for them. They've obviously got a couple of the Irish guys. I think Farrell is coming in, and Hart as well at 9. So that'll give them a little bit of extra depth. So I expect both teams to get better. Plus, they've kept the coaching staffs, which I think will have a big impact. More time with those guys. I think they're top quality operators, and I think both teams will only get better and better.
Thanks, Luke, and thanks so much for watching. That's all we have time for in the left wing this week. We'll be back next Monday for another live show to review the Pro 12 action. Until then, thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye.